Now we review Star Wars The Acolyte, Episode 6, Teach, Corrupt. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have finally seen Episode 6 of The Acolyte, and we're going to talk about it. And of course, spoilers, because if there weren't spoilers, there would be nothing for me to talk about. This is Star Wars, but there's not much to it. Anyway, so in this particular episode, we have three stories. We have the story of May the Good Twin has been captured by Smilo Ren, as the internet is calling him, who is the Sith Lord with the weird smile helmet. And then we have Squid Game Guy and Evil Twin are on a starship headed back to Coruscant. And then on Coruscant, we have Green Lesbian Jedi is taking her wimpy dude friend to where all the Jedis died in the previous episode. All right? So that's basically where you are. You've got those three plot lines. Okay, so Smilo Ren and May. Smilo Ren is putting the smolder on May, and he's trying to seduce her and bring her to the dark side. And you find out that apparently his helmet blocks out everything but the Force. Except in the last episode, it prevented Squid Game Guy from reading his mind, so it also blocks out the Force. But we don't know about that, I guess. Doesn't make a lot of sense. What does? And, in the very beginning, Smilo Ren, he gets naked, and he jumps in the lagoon, and he's up there swimming, and May comes out there with his lightsaber and was like, I should kill you now. And he's like, go ahead and kill me now. You'll become part of the dark side. And then, she's like, a Jedi doesn't kill an unarmed person. And it's like, woman, you do realize, one, you're not a Jedi, and two, this dude killed a bunch of your friends. People you theoretically liked. I guess not liked a lot, because you don't seem all that upset about all your dead friends, but it's like, you had the opportunity to kill this guy who killed a bunch of your friends, and you didn't. Look, there are people that if I had the opportunity to kill, if I wouldn't be, persecuted by the law, so would kill. So would kill. I know some really terrible people. People who have abused the mentally ill. People who have killed defenseless animals. I would revel in their death and destruction because they are so horrible. And they didn't kill as many people as Smilo Ren did. So I just have to wonder here, are you so Batman at this point that you think, you don't kill because you would just kill everyone? Because that's Batman. It doesn't make sense here. Batman can see the future, and he understands that he shouldn't kill people because he knows what will happen. But how many times are you going to be face to face with someone who murdered a group of your friends, and you've got a lightsaber to their throat, and you're not going to kill them? Maybe he's just that sexy. He's there, he's got the dingle-dangling, and he's like, hey, you got a little Sith in you? No? You want some? And she's like, not interested. But in the end, she kind of does give in to the dark side. I'm not going to say exactly how, although you can certainly find that out from other reviewers. Jeremy Johns says so, but she does give in to the dark side in the end, at least a little bit. The implications we don't know. Now then, there's the Green Lesbian Jedi. And she is a strong female, and she does things. I think she would be smarter than this. I don't think they're really giving this character the strength and intelligence of a Jedi. And that really kind of sells her short, because it's like, oh, we just got a distress signal from Squid Game's guy? Ah, we must send a rescue mission immediately. You, me, let's go. How do you know where he is? I sent him there. All right, but it's a rescue mission, and you're arriving with a team smaller than the team that he had, so I guess you have a very heavy level of confidence in your abilities. Also, infamous for this episode, I've noticed a lot of people have mentioned that the lesbian Jedi, green lesbian Jedi, she has a lightsaber whip, which is not a power we've seen in lightsabers as of yet. And typically speaking, the multifunction lightsaber is a Sith thing. You know, Sith have, okay, my lightsaber goes both ways, or Sith has, my lightsaber gets longer or has a secondary function. That is typically of the Sith. So it does say something about this character. I mean, typically speaking, characters that are less attractive, I mean, she's got this really butch look to her, but it's not the cute, boyish butch look. It's the I'm tough and rugged butch look, which in real life would not make her a bad person. But often in cinema, where physicality is mentality, would normally say that she's not the nicest person in the world. That is a commonality. So, yeah, the makeup they're giving her and the kind of physicality is saying that she's really evil underneath. And, I mean, okay. Although that lightsaber whip may be cool, it's also stupid because, as we know from Indiana Jones, is that, you know, the thing about a whip is it's unpredictable. You don't know where it's going. It would be much better if you had... They have had these in the books. I don't know if it's ever been in the series. There was actually a blaster lightsaber where it was a blaster and a lightsaber. And I mean, it's one of those things about the Jedi. Luke carried a blaster and a lightsaber. Okay? That was his standard kit. When he went to go face his father, he only had the lightsaber on him. But in other situations, he also had the blaster. Which makes a lot more sense tactically, because the lightsaber can be used single-handedly, and the blaster is a solid backup weapon for situations where you might need to blast. Lightsabers are more defensive weapons than they are offensive weapons, but they have higher levels of utility than just fighting, which is one of the reasons for them. But you know, they get on this world where the Jedis died, and the bodies are still there, which really says something about Squid Game's guy. It wasn't like he didn't take the bodies without us knowing. He just left them there. And here they are, they're looking at him going, okay, what do you think happened here? Well, maybe Squid Game guy went nuts and killed everybody. Oh, yeah, that's a possibility. Like, dude, I understand that this is a different society way in the past, but they're far more advanced to us. There would be protocol droids. There would be investigation robots. There would be people looking at what's going on and saying, okay, what happened here? This body has his neck snapped. This body has holes here, here, and here. I mean, look, today, let's say the police find somebody and they've been shot in the chest, all right? Well, there's got to be an autopsy. And that autopsy, even though they've been shot in the chest, they cut them open, they take a sample of everything, they send those things to toxicology. You might say, yeah, okay, but these are Jedi and they can sense if there was poison. It's like, yeah, their sensing power has been pretty bad up till now. I would assume that they would have, you know, full investigation teams, and they'd be like, yeah, you know, we're going to have reports. There's going to be records. That's who we are. So they really should have brought in some experts on crime and criminality to deal with this particular thing. And I mean, those bodies, how long have they been there? Because they look fresh. They're not rotting. There are no flies anywhere. I granted this thing, I guess, is supposed to be like a soft PG. But, you know, a dead body starts to stink pretty quickly. Primarily because, you know, the bowels evacuate. Things like that. So those bodies would be pretty messed up. And they're saying, you know, Coruscant is in the core of the galaxy, and this world is kind of the outer rim, so it should take some time to get there. And it doesn't. So that's a little confusing. And there's no mention of what happened to their lightsabers at all. And other than the disgusting flying potato bug things, And there are people on this world, by the way. There are intelligent life forms who would be asking, why are all these dead bodies here on our terms? Now, the final story, of course, is with Squid Game guy, Evil Twin, and that hamster thing, and the hamster tracker thing that apparently doesn't speak any language except for its own language and droid. And the droids can communicate with him fine. They can communicate with the droids, but for some reason, he's having trouble communicating with them. And he's the first one that smells out, hey, this is not May. So instead of like running to Squid Game guy and saying, hey, we got a problem here, trying to communicate with him that way, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go square off with May, with not May, and fight her, and then, the droid sprays some robot jizz in her face, and then, Squid Game guy somehow figures out that it's not May and stuns her. Now, look, you could say that Squid Game guy always knew it wasn't May, which would make more sense. There is the possibility of subtext. It's like, when there's this point in the episode where not May is coming up, she's got a knife, and she's going to kill Squid Game guy, and it's like he's saying, somebody knew we were coming, and she's like, oh, she could be saying, oh, well, he must have found out, so now I got to kill him, and instead it's like, oh, all right, you don't know I'm not May, so I'm not going to kill you yet because I've got some reason to be here. I'm trying to get something out of you. That's a possibility. It may not be bad writing. It may be subtext. The problem with that subtext is, how did he not automatically know, and why did she not wind up on the ship in shackles earlier? It's a good question. And it's all alluding to the fact that when May's family dies, the coven of lesbian force witches, when that happened, when the whole thing burnt down, it's alluding to the Jedi had more to do with that than we previously believe. But whether that's true or not, we just have to watch the episodes and find out. But at the end, Squid Game guy stuns not May and flies off somewhere. And where he's going, we don't know exactly. It hasn't said, but that's where we are. At the end of the episode, May is turning to the dark side. Green lesbian Jedi woman is investigating what happens and suspects Squid Game guy of killing everyone. And Squid Game guy and Evil Twin and the hamster thing are speeding off to an unknown destination. Yes. So, it's pretty much on par with the rest of the series. If you enjoyed the rest of the series, you are going to enjoy this. If you did not enjoy the rest of the series, this is not going to turn it around for you. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It could be that they're really building up to something absolutely awesome, and we don't know it yet, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. And, that's just kind of where we are with this. So, yeah, I mean, if you're not turned on to the series yet, you're not going to get turned on to the series. If you're enjoying the series, you should enjoy this about as much as the rest of the episodes. Now, I could say that the last review I did of episode 5, somebody insulted my weight. And that's a good thing. Because if you're not getting trolled in your videos aren't reaching a wide enough audience. That's YouTube. So I have to admit, you guys are apparently pretty interested in hearing what I think about this series. I can't tell you why, but you are. So yeah, probably going to keep watching. Whether you do that or not, that's up to you. I'm Richard.
Randall the Rat here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Well, look over here. These are bracelets from 4Ocean. Each one of them means a pound of trash was pulled out of the ocean. And this channel buys one for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. And this around my neck, well, this is a medal from the Conqueror. It represents walking around the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can get one for yourself by going to the Conqueror challenges.com and saying, hey, I want to pretend I walked around the pyramids of Giza without dealing with all the sweat and flies and delicious scarab beetles. Or you could support this channel so they can buy more of these, which means that they will plant trees, because each one of these represents 5 trees that got planted. Yeah, that's right, 5 trees, helping your environment. Global warming sucks. Be a good person, comment, like, and subscribe. Give us more money so that we can plant trees by buying metals from the Conqueror. Randall out.